Well, this project was actually born out of ACU's need for consolidation of teaching space and staff accommodation onto the St Patrick's campus in Fitzroy. The brief of the project was actually over 18,000 square metres, and it had to fit on an incredibly small site, which was bounded by multi-storey education building, the Mary Glowrey, which actually happened to be a heritage building, which was the former Commonwealth Note and Stamp Printing Building. So part of our strategy was to relocate the entry, which was appended to the front of the building, and to consolidate that into the new building, and to restore the building's heritage value and actually celebrate that through the project. But given we were dealing with a very small site and a large floor area, our strategy was to actually develop, and to deal with the heritage considerations, was to develop a podium level which actually levelled with the Mary Glowrey building, but actually cascaded or stepped back on the site to create the mass on the site sort of more to the centre. So we ended up with a sort of cantilevered form that sat over the Mary Glowrey building. The midsection between the podium level and the tower part actually projects over the Mary Glowrey building to form another 2 stories of space with a sports court atop of that. This is a vertical campus arrangement, and that comprises of a car park, a whopping 7-storey car park below ground, 2 levels of street interface, 5 levels of main teaching and learning above that, and then 2 hub levels for staff and student, then staff accommodation above that. Below the sports court, there's conference facilities, staff accommodation, and all levels connect into the Mary Glowrey building. The tapered form of the ground plane and the idea of creating the sort of emphasis to the ends of the Mary Glowrey building creates an area where we have a series of sunken gardens and multiple entry points into the building. The ramped floors, or the ramped entries, bridge over the sunken gardens and actually introduce the idea of gardens and artwork, which are really strong throughout the project. As you come into the entry of the building, you're greeted by the escalators and surrounded by informal learning spaces over 2 levels. Each of those levels actually connect back to the exterior. The lower ground level connects into the sunken garden spaces, whereas the upper level lead to an urban theatre, which actually connects strongly with the street. And you can see the theatre offers a range of seating opportunities for students, connecting the outside gardens with the inside gardens that are developed, and the gardens on the edge softening that interface with the street and creating a high level of transparency into the teaching space, or the informal learning space of the ground floor. The lifts actually connect all the levels of the building in the core, and the escalators provide the main thrust for movement, student movement, through the teaching space aspect of the building. And the teaching spaces comprise a range of different pedagogies, from group learning in flat floor arrangement to Harvard-style tiered theatres, to lectorial spaces for interactive learning, to group theatre type learning spaces which are in a tiered theatre arrangement. There's also a very large 200-seat lecture theatre over 2 levels, which is also connected to the exterior. Just in terms of the arrangement, the floor plan arrangement, the teaching and learning spaces are organised to the perimeter of the plan, whereas to the interior we have the informal learning and collaboration spaces that connect with the circulation spaces. Although these informal spaces are on the interior, they're still connected via orchestrated windows to the exterior of the building. The palette of the interior is influenced by the materials, textures and colours of the area, and they're being brought together into the interior in a series of panels, rhythmic panels, that then are integrated with planters, seating. And this forms a really good sense of place within the facility, and also a good sense of wayfinding as well. The panelisation also forms a structure for the curation of ACU's very large art collection, which is also integrated throughout all the informal learning areas of the building. The large glass box that hangs out over the main entry provides a space for student hangout, another informal space within the facility. Also facing the street, the relief area between the Mary Glowrey building and the new build provides a series of study garden spaces which are filled with natural light, have vertical gardens, and provide furniture which also incorporates power, data and plants. Up on level 4, there's another important garden space which provides intimate seating for students and relief from the interior. And that space is then connected back to the interior visually and also physically. In the interstitial space between the plant area, the Mary Glowrey building and under the overbuild, there's also a conservatory space, a garden conservatory, which is actually a mixed mode space. It incorporates artwork and a range of seating configurations through a terracing arrangement in the space. The centrepiece garden for the facility is on level 6, and that's articulated by a large green lawn which is in the shape of St Patrick's Cathedral and has been raised for a series of profiled seating arrangements and different orientations of occupation. The whole space has also a range of integrated artworks that have been integrated into the landscape of the space. And this space connects directly to a student self-serve kitchen area, which is also a mixed mode space that opens up to the landscape of the terrace. And connected to that, continuing the garden theme into the interior, are another series of student lounge spaces with various forms of occupation for students with great views of the city.
Apologies on my end, I didn't let you know when there was 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go, that's fine.
So please summarise.
Okay, so above that we have a basketball court which actually provides, or a multi-use sports court which provides important outdoor open space for the university, and also a garden space. This space is actually open to the community as well, so anyone can come and use that. Below this is the postgraduate conferencing centre with its spill space, the postgraduate facilities, and below that, connected to the student hub, is the staff area, which has been woven into the intricate structure that spans over the Mary Glowrey building to support that building. Above that, there's further staff accommodation. And one of the very important things for ACU was their identity in this building, and obviously the architectural form and presence of the building was going to be important, but symbolism was also an important idea. So incorporated into the facade is an idea about religiosity, ACU identity, combined with the idea of the heritage of the Notes and Stamps building with the artefacts that were produced through that building. And these were incorporated into an idea about a kind of digital rusticated facade, which comprises a GRC facade that behaves very differently in the light during the day and creates a very sort of textural effect through the building.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.